And we're live. Welcome, internet friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another bonanza, post-summer bonanza, pre-breakpoint bonanza, together with my friends from Dean's List DAO. We're reviewing a custom dApp for reviews, for feedback. What we do in the Dean's List DAO, it's custom made. It's made by an internal team, and it's made for us. So it's really, really important for us to go through this again. This is the second round, the second bonanza on this dApp. On the previous one, which happened in early July, we identified plenty of issues, mostly confusion of the user and the manager and the processes. We had issues with joining communities, editing comments, and several small bugs. From a quick look, I've seen that the dApp is actually very updated. Lots of work has been done. So super thank you. We have Baba from the dev team representing, and we got Untied Bear, Scientist Joe, Moxie, Pure Wanderer, Annie, Panos, and Legend. So we've reviewed plenty of dApps together. Looking forward to review this one. So we're gonna enter blind like always. I'm sharing my screen, and we're gonna start this journey as a classic reviewer. So we're gonna go in as a Dean's List citizen, and we're reviewing a project. We're leaving feedback for an early build to help the developers and help the manager who is making a report for that specific dApp. So let's join, log in with Discord, classic. You should be in the Discord of Dean's List. The first thing that comes to mind is, why not wallet? I just logged in. I see a dashboard with plenty of projects that reward plenty of money. My eye goes to Baba's project that is giving millions of USDC. Most probably, this is the one I would like to join. Clear, I like it. I like it. I got comments. I'll keep back so to not to steal it from other people. So I see on the top right to connect my wallet. It's already connected. Beautiful. So let's join a project. Should I join a project? Baba, if I'm doing anything wrong here, please let me know. I am intrigued by this one, Baba's project, part 4. It looks like I'm part of it, although there's no participants, maybe because there's no review. Go to the app and get started. So let's leave a review. As colorblind, this is not optimized. So this is my comment. I'm not colorblind, but I'm pretending to be. So is this a comment or is this a review? I think this is a review. Let me add a picture as well. Oh, the URL, add an image. Maybe I can just copy it. Can I just copy it? No, I can't. So okay, I'll just click it, and my comment is added. As you're all playing, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the panel is reading reviews, let's give the mic to the first panelist here to tell us what he thinks, what his first impression on the journey. So let's go to Untied Bear. What do you think? What's happening here? Feel free to share your screen if you want. I'll need to close mine, but what's happening in your journey as a reviewer, as a Dean's List reviewer?
I like the changes shortly. What I noticed, I'm not sure if it's because on the development process, it asked me several times to log in with Discord whenever I try to log in. So is there in the future, is it going to remember me? Like it's easier maybe? I don't know. That's one small point. Second one, on this screen, it still says comment. What I mean is when you're the first time reviewing, I think it maybe something like submit or save fits better. Other than that, I don't have any comments at the moment for this stage.
Only positives. Scientist, your turn. What do you think? What do you like? Did you leave a review? Did you have any issues? You're muted, scientist. You're muted.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So on the projects page, when you're typing a review, the inputs uh, bar is kind of narrow in height, so it doesn't inspire lengthy reviews. One last thing is the comments. I noticed the user, there's no way to differentiate between the managers and the reviewer. I think maybe roles can work for that. And lastly, I would say, okay, I think I'll leave it at that. I'll save that one for later. Yeah.
Moxie, what do you think? Did you get into it? Did you leave a comment, delete it, edit it, manage to upload a picture? What do you think is happening here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll start by saying I'm going to throw sort of a curveball at y'all because I did it on my phone. So there are some UI bugs to fix, just a heads up, when looking at it on your phone. And obviously we're not going to get that view here, but I'll start from the very beginning, like the landing page where it says, welcome to Dean's List Dashboard, the place where we inspire and reward valuable feedback. Yes, there we go. So the purple valuable feedback, I thought that was a link, but it wasn't. So that was a little confusing. I think if we could, I don't know like who might get this link, if it's just people who are already in the know, internal to the Dean's List DAO, and they know why they're coming here already. There's a lot of context for them to come to this, or if other folks outside or new members say to the DAO are coming, it might be more helpful to give a little bit more of a specific tagline to understand what is the utility of this, because we're not really trying to sell something here and have like flowery words. We're really just like, this is where you go to find projects and get rewarded, perhaps something like that. So there's one piece of feedback. I think once we do the authentication, I'm wondering if there's a way to kind of streamline some of the steps in the auth. And because when I did it, it's also connecting your wallet and everything else. Unless it remembers all of that. If it's a one-time only deal, then that, that makes it kind of a little more understandable. But if you have to do it every time, it would be nice to streamline the number of steps and clicks. So then, yeah, once you get to this page and, overall, I think it's clean. It's really easy to see what's happening overall. I think for the projects, again, like if for a new user, someone who's not sure what these are, it might be nice to just state like, what the projects represent and that you can get paid or, so just thinking about it from a new user perspective. So I did try to do a review, and what I found was that what was confusing for me was when you go to do a review, after several times of trying things, I realized that it's actually, when I think of a review, I think like you add a chunk of text, and then the comments are something that you can comment on the review. But in this case, it seems like my review is just a collection of comments. And so that was very confusing to me because I kept looking for my review after I wrote something in here, and all I could see was comments. And so there was a disconnect for me there. So I would suggest calling one thing a review that you are writing up, and then the comments just being comments on the review or something to that effect. So I've said a lot now. I'll pause and let the next person speak.
I love the comments. I agree with the wording a lot. So thank you for that. Let's move to Annie. What do you think, Annie, is happening here? Do you like the experience? Did you have any problems?
I tried to do everything like write a comment, a review, a comment, upload a picture. It worked. I uploaded a picture of a cat, so I'm happy. But I do agree with what Moxie said. I would like to be able to see like the reviews and the comments. Otherwise, I fear that I might get lost reading into various comments and responses and getting me into a vicious cycle of getting to read and respond and read and respond to other people's reviews and comments. So I guess I would, I guess as a reviewer, I'm just focusing on my review and the feedback that I want to give. So the UI should direct me to focus only on my sole purpose, which is to give the best feedback possible.
Yes, I see the confusion, and although there is this pivoting to the right for new threads, it does stay confusion. I like the angle. I want to prompt people to also go see how functional it is to find the projects you've already commented. If you're coming back from a long pause and you haven't interacted with a project which is still open, try to see this. Go through that as well. I would welcome some comments on that. Let's go to Panos. Panos, the stage is yours.
Thank you. I have already been putting my comments on the project, on the $1 trillion project, which is great. So Baba, I'm waiting for that wallet drop. But I have put my comments. First of all, go to the app. When I put my comments, they show up the first I post on the top and the last on the bottom. So they just keep enhancing bottom, top to bottom. I'm not sure if that's a feature. It was a little confusing. I got used to it. It's not a big problem. There's 2 back buttons, so it's a little confusing where I am in the app. Am I reviewing? Am I seeing the project? What is happening? So the 2 back buttons as a user experience might be not the best, and they're a little hidden, a little smaller. So definitely confusing. When I go to the app, the project description says go to the app, and it actually replaces my window of Dean's List. So I actually get away from Dean's List. It would be great to have the project on the one window and the Dean's List on the other, so I can review at the same time. It was easy to take screenshots from my laptop and just Control-C, Control-V into the comment section and paste the pictures. It's impossible to upload the picture that I already have. So that's why I was going to comment now, which I tried to comment and my comment didn't go through. But it would be great the image button to be an upload button, or even drag and drop an image into the comment section and allow me to place the image there. And the last point I have is the project says there's 0 days left on the project. It's still active, and I still can comment. I mean, that might not be as a project manager, I might not want people to comment after my deadline is over. So these are my comments. I already put everything into the project. And Baba, I'm waiting for that drop.
Beautiful, very helpful and very detailed. Thank you, Panos, and thank you for actually using the app and trying it out. That's the way. Thanks. Master Raccoon legend that has wore all the hats possible in Dean's List DAO throughout the years. What do you think? You're muted, sir. Technical difficulties. Let's see if we'll manage. No, nothing, unfortunately. Let's give Legend 2 minutes. I'll go on his turn until he fixes it. So entering, for me, I will repeat it. I said the same comment on the first session. When I enter a dApp, I want to see a wallet login. I want to see a Discord login. I want this. I understand that to be able to stay in the loop, you need to be in the Discord. But in the perfect world, anybody can just log in and be rewarded. If the project doesn't allow for citizens, and I want to just be able to log in with my wallet. I don't have Discord. I don't like Discord, and I don't want to gate the projects and the communities that will able to use this behind Discord. Then add some commas. Make these like visible as numbers. I have no clue how many zeros this is. Again, very easy to fix in my mind, and it's just going to look way better. All the other points that I had are completely covered by the rest of the reviewers, and I would like to be able to of course, I was trying to upload the picture and I failed, so that was that held me back a little. I usually pass my things through Paint, so it makes things a little bit harder. Legend, I heard you're back. What do you think is happening? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Technical difficulties. So my first impressions are that I don't think the main page is the optimal one for this, because your average user is not going to connect personal accounts or wallets if they don't see what they're connecting for. Like, the main page is just log into Discord, but you are logging for what? So I think the main exactly what you're showing is just log into Discord. So you're not showing anything. It might be security issues, so you don't know what you're connecting to, so there's no preview. So I think the main dashboard with the projects Baba is showing 5,000 USDC total, etc. So after you connect the Discord is what you're gonna see. So I think this is the main page users should be able to see, and if they like to, they should be able to connect afterwards here. So that's one of my comments. And another comment I have to say is when you upload a picture to comment and you try to enter, you try to submit, you can't submit only a picture. It gives you an error. So if you go to open a review and you add a comment, and you add only a picture or a picture link and you try to comment, it doesn't allow you. So that, I assume that's an error and it needs to be fixed. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yes, bug caught. Bravo, indeed. Comment cannot be empty.
I think this is good because I also had the same issue, and then I thought, what is the value of having a picture without the comment? So it kind of drives us to comment to the picture. So for me, it's a functionality.
Any comments from the rest? Any comments from the dev?
I can always create the picture and have my comments inside the picture. So I have arrows and say, this is a thing, this is a thing. I do like doing that when I take screenshots. So having a forced comment might be a good thing and might be a bad thing at the same time. It's not a deal breaker to me. Either way, it's going to work.
Either way, I think it's important that we set the right expectations for whoever the user is. So they shouldn't get to an error message or not see what they expected without some kind of explanation or understanding as to why. Otherwise, they might just keep trying to do it over and over again.
Yeah, maybe a pop-up with an explanation would solve this. Something I noticed just going through it, I see 3 participants while I see 4 people. I think what's happening here, did you delete your comment, Annie? And it just shows you as a participant with no comments. How did this happen? And should this update to meet to the amount of people listed, or should it, one of the two needs to be updated? Either Annie shouldn't be in the list or participants should be 4.
I submitted a review. I started doing a review, so it takes me as a participant, but I haven't commented yet. So it just gives me the time to do my comment. I guess this is how it works. But I see your point.
All right, okay.
Can I intervene here? So in order to be counted as a participant, you have to have at least one comment in your review. Because otherwise, so yeah, what Annie was saying. So that's when it counts you as a participant, when you've at least left one comment. Now, why a review has been initiated and it has it there without a comment, unless Annie's in the process now of writing that comment, that's a different question.
No, she has it open and she hasn't submitted. So I think you're spot on. There's no issue discovered.
It could, however, not even posted there until she's pasted for even more clarity. Since it's not a participant yet, it shouldn't be showing there with 0 comments. Noted.
Like, I would love also to see some hover-overs and some maybe some more information. But let's leave this for the end of the session. Before we end this feedback reviewer experience, anything to add before we start the round again? I log out, update me as a manager, and we'll go through the process. Please update everybody's permissions in this panel as managers, so we can go ahead and start creating projects, editing them, uploading links, information, and whatever else, and then deleting them and rating the users and discussing that process. Tell me when we are ready so I can disconnect.
Comments.
Please, Moxie.
Yeah, so I think I noticed that there's the settings in the navigation, and then it is basically a lot of the same content as what's under profile in the top right. Because view, profile, and settings are very similar. One is just more of like an edit mode, and they're in 2 places. So, I think thinking through if the redundancy is important, and in terms of having 2 separate pages for profile and settings, and then also if the redundancy is important to have it in 2 different places as well. Something to consider. And then one other thing I'll add is I didn't go into the UI issues when looking at it on the phone, but there are a lot of just something to review the phone user experience, because, or a smaller device perhaps. There is, when you go to the navigation, the overlay, like you have to click on the hamburger menu, it opens up and it is kind of transparent over the rest of the site on your phone. So it just looks like a jumbled mess. It's really hard to read. The legibility is really difficult because it's words on top of the other words on the page. There are also some alignment issues and things like that. So it's worth kind of going through and debugging from a UI perspective there.
True, lots of these list members, reviewers, and feedbackers in general work through their phones. Scientists used to work 100% from your phone, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day at least. So it's important to optimize for phone users as well. I totally understand that in this alpha version we are not there yet, and it was not part of our initial planning. But certainly, one of the areas of focus that I would also support as a quick next phase. I'm logging out and relogging. Sorry, scientists, continue.
Yeah, before we move on, there's something I just want to add quickly. If you click on any review and you are going through a list of all the already existing reviews, you can easily see that there is no preview of the feedback. So the only way to view a comment is to click on it I'll click on the user, and I think for most sessions you'll be having at least 10 to maybe 20 users who are participating. So it's not as easy to like skim through. And also the fact that all the feedback is clustered or it's, sectioned to a particular user, you cannot just skim through a list of all the feedback without having to click all the users one by one. So it's not as easy as, let's say on Discord where you just have a list, you are just scrolling through without having to like click and all. But I think I could argue, on the dev side that it's neater this way, but it does have a little bit of drawback as well.
Good catch, and it also takes you back to the initial dashboard, and this enlarge button is like clicking the title. A very good catch, scientist. Very, very good catch. I'm loading out. If nobody else has anything to comment, Annie has her hand up. Please, the mic is yours.
Thanks. One last comment on my side. This looks great if we put like straightforward comments and reviews. But I'm just thinking sometimes the reviews that we are doing are more sophisticated and more elaborate. So I suppose that when I go in a project, the manager will give instructions on how they want the review to happen. So the review will not just be bullet points or pictures and edits, but could be a level up, like more sophisticated, more elaborate, more pain points, more I don't know, more text. So I would like to see some kind of the app to guide me to do more than just comment, but do more like write a paragraph and next to the paragraph put the picture. So give it more like an executive summary look and feel somehow. Then that's for the projects that require more in-depth review or I don't know code reviews or things that take more than one line, a comment, or a bullet point. I don't know if it's only me, but sometimes I do get more lengthy when I write my comments and my reviews. So I would like to see maybe a feature where I can elaborate more on why something does not work or why something should be an additional feature.
To be the devil's advocate here, nothing stops you from writing a really long text. There is no character limit. On the other hand, some templates or some examples would be really cool. A way for the manager to upload an example for the reviewers as what is the optimal way of leaving feedback would be also welcome. But let's leave these feature requests at the end, and let's move to the second very crucial part of the review, which is the managers. So I'm logging out unless anybody wants to add anything. We still have plenty of time, over half an hour. So I'm logging out. And now I'm going to log in. Baba has tweaked the settings, I assume. Are we ready?
One moment.
Overall, though, as a feedbacker and as a reviewer, the confusion and the accomplishment of my mission of enter, leave a comment, leave, come back later, find the comment, continue commenting on the same project was very easy. Was like so much easier versus the first iteration. And I don't think we like studied in any way or we didn't like prepare. This was like mostly blind entering. So overall, just eating time here until you are ready. I'm very happy. Baba, do I log in?
Yep.
Yes, I'm logging in. So I should be a manager now. Let's see what changes. Ooh, management. That's the only addition. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's be a manager. I'm not gonna participate in these tasks. I'll create my own. So on projects, I see this tab. The moment I press management, I see add project. So the only thing that changes is this. Okay, let's go. The community is Dean's List because I am part of this community. The name is Wales Project. Add multiple projects. No, V1. So that's a draft project. Let's continue. Follow me on Twitter and let's take a picture as well. So I will add a link. And I will add a picture. So I am going with my snipping tool and I'm getting my homepage. So I cannot paste images here. Okay. Didn't like that. It starts tomorrow, not today. Duration is 13 days. And the total amount only in USDC. I wanted to reward Dean. So I will do 1 USDC and I'm going to do, can I do 0 days? Can I do 1 hour? No, I cannot. I wanted to be able to finish the project during the stream and pay out people. Manager amount, 0.1. No, I don't think you can do it. So $2. Referral amount, 0. Avatar URL. This is the URL of the avatar. So what if I do this? Copy image address. And this. And website is Island DAO, of course. So let's go. The project has been updated and I see there is an image. The team. I'm going to add Pure Wanderer. I'm going to add, I need select user. Okay, added. I'm going to Legend Raccoon, add user. Untied Bear, add user. Baba, add user. Ritrafa, add user. Moxie, add user. Panos, add user. Okay, did I leave anybody else? Let Bob, Alice, and Charlie, Beeman, and Scientist. Here we go. The rating, nobody. Payouts, I see. And I'm going to reward both to myself, obviously. Can I split by rating? No. Okay, that's the project. Save changes. Now, view project. Project not found. No, please don't tell me it restarted. So you got the project, you got what we're doing here. I'm confused. I don't know where to post. This is draft. This is what's happening. Now I just noticed. Active. The project status was updated to active. Cannot transition from active to closed. End date must be. Save changes. Okay, so projects now. Wales project V1. Okay, we got it here. You've seen what we're doing. I'm going to yield the floor. We're going to start from Legend and move to Panos, Annie, Moxie, Scientist, Untied, and last myself. Comment on your projects, delete them. While you're speaking, I'll be going around and commenting as well. Legend, you should start this round. Please tell us your manager experience.
So I just tried to make the project and said project not found. So that's my manager experience. So what I was trying to do is create a project. I fill up every input there, and when I tried to create a project, it just it didn't create, and up above was a view project, and it just went to the not found. So I'm not sure what I need.
Did you change it from a draft to an active project? The last step I did. On the top right, there is a little side drop down bar that says active, draft, or closed.
I don't think so. So
If you want to share screens, all you need is ask for me to close the screen, and you can share it. So if you can replicate that, would be super helpful. If not, we're happy to listen to the description.
I can try to share the screen and just try to replicate. Let's see.
Okay, please share the appropriate tab.
I think I'm sharing right now, right?
Yep, it's perfect.
So what I was trying to do, first of all, was trying to impersonate Lulu Finance, for example. So what stops a manager to impersonate someone, right? So what I was trying to do just to put Lulu and other so project with this select already exists. So I guess I can't create a project with the same name, but I don't see it in the management.
May I intervene?
Should I refresh the page? Let's see.
No. Where the state is active, you have to go state draft because your project's in a draft stage since you haven't transitioned states.
So you need to okay. Okay, T should be the one. And where do you change?
On top right. Here you go.
So I can't change to active because I got a little fast error. If you guys have seen that, is object something unknown. So I guess I can't change to active. Something happened. Let's say.
Yep, could you, for the sake of trying, click save changes and then try to change the state?
Change. So project updated, and let's try to update again. Active.
Okay.
No, I get
Yep.
error.
Noted.
What I wanted to try to comment is, as well said, you on the instructions, it's you should have the same power as the commenters do, which is add the images, bold, strike through, etc. And I think every manager should have their own template to fill up on the instructions. Another thing to mention is under management, I should not see other managers' projects. I should only be see mine, and I should not be able to maybe can I go here and edit it? Yes, I can probably, right? Let's see. Let's save changes. Project updated. Let's go back and how do you see under projects? Okay, and let's say to Wales project V1. So yeah, I just updated Will's project in my power as a manager. So I'm not sure if it's in
one. You're also a manager for the specific one. Try on a different one.
So if okay, let's try this one. Save changes. You're not managing. Okay. So yeah, I was managing that one. So that's a security check, let's say. And yeah, my overall comments is just you should not be able to see other managers' projects, and you should be only able to see yours. And yeah, that's it. I think this should be also be split instead of states here. Maybe split the UI in three parts, which is active, draft, and closed. So you can you see from the get go the three states instead of go to the UI and change manually. And that's just a personal opinion. And that's it. I can stop sharing my screen if someone wants to take.
Yeah, good catches. Let me also share it. Please close your screen. And here we go. Thank you so much, Legend. Let's move to Panos. Guide me, Panos, to the screen you want, or you can also share your own screen.
Yeah, let's go to the management page, the very first page. I didn't have any trouble creating the project. I do agree we shouldn't be seeing projects that we don't have access to, and especially we shouldn't be able to see the settings. So definitely not. We're not able to update them, but definitely not that. The one thing that was very confusing, everything else was very clean, very simple. I love the tab button settings, team rating, payouts. Maybe a more step by step kind of a wizard head. So if you click on my product, Devote, you're also a manager. Hey, Wills, is it possible you can click on the Devote project, the last project on the management?
Sorry, yes, on the devote, sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, you see, I like how it has settings, team, rating, and payout. I think it should be more like a kind of like wizard-like, but not exactly. Kind of like the one goes to the next. First you do the settings, then you do the team, then you start rating the comments when you start having comments, and in the end, once you actually the project is almost done, you start putting the payouts. Now the payouts is a little confusing. I don't understand, and maybe it's not enabled yet because it says 0 left, 0% left. If you go back to the payouts, so manage the project, or maybe I can. Yeah. There. So this is confusing. I'm not sure. Like when I put the money here, I should see the total amount going down. When I do bonus, does this go out of the total amount? I don't understand what the bonus is. So this is something needs a little more explanation.
I totally agree on that. I also have some things to add on those screens as well. If you have nothing else to add, we should move to Annie.
Yep, let's move on.
Thank you, Panos. Annie, what's your experience? What is that you don't like or you like?
I like the interface, how I perceive it's clean. There are a couple of things I don't like or could be improved. First, you added me in your project, but I didn't get any notification. So how would I know that I am added in a project? So I would like to see a notification coming in as a team member to the project. Then I went into your project, the one that you created before, while we were recording this, and I did changes. And I don't know, I don't think you have been notified for the changes, but I did. I commented something in the instructions, and I also changed the referral amount. So I did one minor change, instruction change, but I also changed the referral amount. So this can be very tricky for auditing after somebody has taken an action. So I think changes to financial amounts of projects should be hard coded to the main manager or should be audited, traced back to who did the change. One more thing, kind of more minor, if you go back to the overview screen, the managed project screen, you have the state active, and then you can go to the state draft. You go to the state draft, and then you select a project, and then when you go back, you are again in the active screen. So it kind of every time throws me back to the screen of the active project. I think we should stay in the screen that we selected. So we should stay in the screen of the draft project. Then I also did my own project successfully. I added Moxie as my team member, but I would like to know whether she accepts or not. So again, going back to some kind of a notification going out to the person that I invite to be part of the team. these are my comments for now. And one add-on request would be that as a manager, I would like to manage my team in a specific way and guide them through the review process that I want them to review A, B, C in this order. So maybe accept the instructions if there could be a way to structure the feedback that I will get from my reviewers. So, go first as exactly the same way as we do it now. That, we go first through this screen, through this page, and we go to the extent of it. We comment it like to the poll, and then we go to the next one. So I would like to see a way to structure the review the way that would fit most the specific project. That's my comment.
Great additions and really useful feature requests. We got about 12 minutes left, so keeping that in mind, let's fast forward. Moxie, your turn. Mike's yours.
Cool. All right. I don't have a lot of comments because I didn't have a chance to play with it that much. But first question I have is, when you first come to this, unless it's really well known within the ecosystem or if you're not a new user, maybe you know the difference between a manager and a reviewer. If you think about it long enough, like you can figure out, okay, a manager of the project, the reviewer is the person reviewing. You might be wearing both hats at some point, but I'm kind of curious, like if I have a project that I want people to review, how do I get to be the manager of my own project and list it here? Is there a way to do it from the reviewer side and say, actually, like everyone can see the reviewer side, but I want to actually add a project as a manager. How can I do that? And then secondarily, like, can I request becoming a manager of another project? Maybe go to that project and there's a request button and sends it to that manager. When you get to the project, now going back to the management side, if you get to the project creation page, I think it would be helpful to be able to see just a quick one-liner of what each kind of page is, like the settings, team, rating, payouts. On the team section, like I wasn't sure exactly what that is when you're saying managers. So I'm assuming you can have multiple managers to help you review the reviewer's comments. But I wasn't sure if they were maybe only the people who could review it, or can anybody come in and review it? So there was a little bit of a confusion on my side there. And then on the payout screen, I think some of it, one of the other ones had like minus USDC and I wasn't sure what those stood for. Maybe it was something that went over the amount that you allocated for the project. But if you could just explain that a little bit with why it was a negative value. Yeah, I'd say I'll stop there and pass it to the next person.
Thank you, Moxie. Lots of things to add. Gave me inspiration for some more. Just took some more notes. And Scientist Joe, your turn.
Okay. So, Wales, if you could please navigate between management and projects, you would notice one thing. Both pages are very similar. The only thing that differs is the Add Project button on the top right corner. And it does make the management section feel like maybe it's not so needed. If there is a way to add that to the project section and make it visible for everyone, with the role, I think that works as well. Just to, it kind of feels redundant. While I was creating a project, there are so many parameters, and I couldn't differentiate between which one was important, which one was compulsory. I think one way to do this would be add an asterisk, maybe in red font color, and just it signifies, as a power user, your first instinct when you see a red asterisk is, okay, this is a compulsory metric that must be filled, because I don't know which one is compulsory, if it's but I know you can create by adding the amount, you are able to create the project without filling any additional info. I think the most obvious one would be when we were creating the project. I think I mentioned this in the first version of this call, where you create a project and you go back and you're like, okay, I'm not seeing my project, but it says the project has been updated, but you need to prompt the manager that, okay, your project has been saved, but it's still a draft. Probably you might want to, click, switch it to active so that it doesn't get confusing that way. So the obvious one is a minor one though. That will be the last one. I don't think it's relevant because it doesn't really affect anything, but just to tidy up on the UI appearance. Under the projects or the management section, I can see the page number on the bottom right, and it's 24, whereas we just have a single page. I don't know if this, I think this should be for navigation of pages, because on the bottom left, you already have the page number there already. So yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you, scientist. Easy things to fix, I think you proposed. I hope the dev team goes for it. Untied Bear, your turn.
Hi. Yes, I will keep it brief. About the referral part, you cannot put manager and referral at the same time. So maybe intended, I don't know. I want to talk only about actually ratings part. One is you need to wait to give your rating for the project to be closed, which is probably intended, I assume. But I think that might be extra work for managers. Like if it's active, if you can just rate it, it could be an easier way instead of just waiting it to be, finished and then you start rating. That's a lot of work maybe. That's one. And when we think about ratings, I just thought further. We have a star system, and what we talked before was like maybe some proof of work concept, just to maybe classify members who are high ranking. But when you imagine some new users coming to the platform and just testing out, pushing reviews, maybe not at the level that a manager wants it, but still they are doing good things. If they get 1 or 2 stars for their first 10 projects, I mean, their profile will be like need a reset. So maybe there can be something like you can rate only if you use it. Otherwise, you cannot rate them as a manager. Just to make sure you don't just rate 1 or 0. If you don't use it, just don't use it. That's it from me.
Thank you, Untied. Sorry, Baba, please.
I just said that now one of the projects, if you go to management, I transitioned it to close for the sake of being able to rate.
I'm not a manager though, so I cannot see it.
One moment.
While you are fixing it, let me just go through a couple of notes I made. So I don't think you should be able to see draft projects of other people unless you have been assigned a manager to that project. So if I go to overview and I look at my at draft projects, management draft, unless I've been added to Lulu as a manager, I shouldn't see it. I don't like the fact that newly added managers have the ability to kick out existing managers, especially the person who created this. Are you sure? Yes. Goodbye, Annie. I'm not a manager. I couldn't be able to kick her, though. That would not be fun. Sometimes I, as a user, as a reviewer or as a user, I am looking for the original author or the main manager behind the team. So I would like to have somewhere the ability to see who has started this project. Is this project managed by Wales? Is this project managed by Legend? I would like to know before I select who's the original manager. I would like to have a way to share this, to have a direct link. So if I'm a manager and I want to prompt people to go comment, I want to be able to take it, take a link directly to that and post it on Twitter, post it on Discord, and have the ability to do that. And looking through the project management screen, so you go to payouts, split by rating. I don't think it works. I tried plenty of different amounts. I see user is now reviewer minus $13. I think this is poorly made. I don't understand it well. Like I have $1,000 and 50 for the referral and 100 for the manager. So I save payouts split by rating. What happened? I don't understand. I see nothing. I expected this to be pre-populated. I see here manager is 100. Does it mean I need to put 100 to everyone? Would they do it manually? I don't really like that. These are the quick things that I noticed. Overall, I'm very happy, and as I understood, it's you go to your target of leaving a comment, managing a project way easier versus the previous version. Before we close, is there any comment that you want to go back at before we do a last fire round of something?
One comment for the sake of testing, since we're all here. So the split by rating works based on the split by rating works if you've been rated. So since everyone had 0 stars, it's why it was allocating 0 to everyone. So just so we can test it now, I will transition the Wales project to closed so we can rate some of the comments and then split by rating so we can capture that workflow. One moment.
Now I understand. Split by rating, so whoever has the most stars gets it. Okay, a little bit more explanation on that. I don't think we have time to go through this process. Let's do it offline. Let's do it later. Before we close, I really want to do at least one rapid fire round. So I want to go around and I want each person to pick one feature request, what they would like to see for this to cater to their needs, what should be the next step, what should be urgently added, where should the devs focus. Pick any of those questions, but just one, and answer it in less than a minute. Let's start with Untied Bear and go to the rest of the panel. Untied.
Yes, I think we need a little bit more time and testing on the manager part. I would like to continue on this. So I think I will give my request after that. Thank you.
Thank you for holding back. Scientist.
Yeah, a feature I'd like to see is token gating for feedback sessions, because there are some projects that require you to trade tokens to test their platform, like take for example Futaki. So it's a good feature to have. You know, you want to make it public, but you also want requirements for it to work.
Love it. Moxie, a feature request or any of the other topics.
Yeah, I would say on the reviewer side, working on the review and comment section. So because this is a big part of whether or not someone is actually going to be able to use this as a tool. and make sure they understand how to leave the review appropriately in the right way. So all the comments that we all had would be part of that, and fixing that and that experience.
Would templating or examples set by the manager solve that, or it should be solved on the devs layer, let's say?
Well, the one thing that I would say that can't be solved on the manager side necessarily is just kind of the language around review and comments. Right now, it's not clear that, you know, the mental model of a review is something that is maybe longer in nature. And, you know, a comment is something that you might comment on the review, but most people probably don't think of a review being a set of comments. And so kind of rethinking, you know, how to deliver that in a way that makes sense on the development end, but also on the user experience end.
Love it. Straight to the point. Easy to fix, and it would make a difference. Panos.
Yes, I think the payouts can work a lot, but I think a very cool feature, I'm gonna request for a feature. Once you split, you know, let's say all the managers agree on the split somehow outside of this platform, it would be a cool way to approve the split before you submit. But imagine a button that says submit payments, and automatically opens your wallet and splits the payment and sends money to the other wallets, to the reviewers based on that.
Subsequent question on exactly what you said. Would you want the money to be sent to the wallet, or would you want the reviewer to have to visit the dashboard and claim the reward? Which of the two journeys would you pick?
Interesting. I would prefer as a reviewer to just get money when it's coming to me instead of having to come back. But as a Teams List developer, I would like more traffic into the website so people can come and claim and feel like they're claiming a gift and have that kind of gamified experience, which will make them come back to get more money.
And so they pay the fees.
Either or. As a user, I would prefer. I see. They pay the fees for transaction. I see.
Let's go to the next. Annie, before we end with Legend. No, we end with me. Sorry. Annie.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see export function for all the great stuff that the viewers are going to be creating, because in the end we want to have something that is also editable in some kind of a document or Word format. So we asked it again, I guess, the previous session. We want an export function so that everything can come in raw data format and we can edit it in some kind of editing document, Canva, whatever. And the second thing, which I think is really important, is the audit function for who has done what. We see it in the reviewers because there's a timestamp of everything. I would like to see the same thing in the manager section.
Love it. Very important indeed. Legend, Sir Legend. Feature request or guide their focus?
So yeah, I was gonna say actually Pano's idea was for on-chain payments to be happen through the dashboard, but I will change to maybe so after a project is finished, closed, I would like for manager to be able to export comments on all the reviews to Excel or PDF or any format they like, and then later submit as a full report. So manager, and then at the end of the day, they need to get every comment review, and they need to bundle it all together, right? So a way for manager to get all the feedback together is, I think it's ideal.
Love it. I'll close this round by saying that I want an ability for anonymous and non-citizens to comment. And I want to see a banner on every Web3 project On top, short ribbon that says click here to leave your comment, and the whole experience goes back to our dashboard. So that's the way to increase our noise. That's the way for us to appear in every popular Web3 web page out there. So I would want to see that. While I of course agree extremely with all the panelists' requests, I think they're all very important. Before we close, I am very proud of what you've built. I love it. I from what I understand and talking to the rest of the panel, everybody agrees. Great leap from V1 to V2. Before we close, Baba, anything you would like to address? Anything you would like to add before we close this session?
So, first of all, thank you guys for joining and participating in the session. You know, very, very tremendously helpful. All your comments. I don't want to comment on anything specifically because I like it's a good length this session, so I can go back, review it, make some notes on it, discuss it with the rest of the team, and tackle those problems because some good bugs / problems were outlined, fix them, and start using the dashboard. Very valid stuff, and also very good suggestions for the second sprint, which would be upgrading, the extra upgraded features. Very good information for that as well, to be included there as well. And thank you again for your time and for participating. It was really, really helpful.
Thank you, friends. Thank you to the audience. Thank you to the DAO. See you in the next Bonanza or on a stream or on a hacker house or somewhere. Register for Thailand DAO. DM me if you want to stay at the DAO Villa. Come find us in Breakpoint. We'll all be there. Big love. See you very soon. Bye, everyone.